So hello everybody. I'm actually going to turn the music all the way off. I know, that way, you know, we can all listen to the pitiful cries of Tinkerbell together. So let me get a few things organized, because I am not organized today. So yeah, some of you have noticed I have glasses. And today, and the rest of this week, I'm using the glasses for the excuse for everything that goes wrong. Literally everything. So, if you follow me on Twitter, which I know not a lot of you do, and I don't blame you, that's okay. I posted that I thought I had just a touch of astigmatism. And a touch of astigmatism, I guess, for most people is between half a diopter and like 3/4 of a diopter. So I always thought I had a touch of astigmatism because I can see and get around just fine without these for the most part. I have to increase text size on a lot of things to make it easier. But for the most part, I can get around without glasses. So, but I was having migraines and I knew I needed to get glasses. So I went to the VA, found out that getting an eye exam was free, found out that these glasses were free. I think at least they haven't billed me for them yet. And even if they do, it'll be under $100 for everything. And, yeah, I know Tinkerbell. And, I essentially haven't worn glasses in forever because, the little black dog chewed mine up forever and a half ago. And then after she had done that, I had moved a few times and, you know, they got lost. And I was like, I can get by without these. I'm fine. So yeah, I have more than a touch of astigmatism. In one of my eyes, it's a full diopter. And the other eye, it's 1 1/4 diopters. So right now my brain is doing this thing where it's fighting the glasses because the glasses are, you know, correcting the vision for me. And the muscles in my eye and my brain are trying to figure out what's all going on. So please bear with me. This adjustment's probably going to take a week. And that was way too much y'all needed to know. But yeah, glasses, new. That's kind of obvious. I can't slip that one by you guys. So, Astro B says, I have to fix the reflections of my glasses. Yeah. Yeah, let's try this. That's a little better, I'm sure. Yeah, this brings up a whole new set of lighting challenges for me now, doesn't it? Let's see if I can tilt that one away. And the rest of the reflection is because I'm literally in front of a window, and there is nothing I can do to fix that right now. So apparently I will get better curtains installed. So yeah, I'm sorry if the reflections are annoying. This is what we got to deal with this today. It might be fixed by Sunday, it might not be. Alright, so new curtains are a definite thing, because even though I moved my glasses, or even though I moved my lighting, there's still reflections. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys for all being patient. Tinker, I know, you just want more Cheerios, because you figured out that if you're not on screen. Anyways, so let's get on with the space news, shall we? As soon as I find my notes. Where are my notes? So, yeah, hi. For those of you that are new, I know I have the window full on. Astro B, you're just going to be a pain today, aren't you? There's literally nothing I can do about the reflection. Unless you're talking about, I don't know. I can't do anything about it, and you guys are going to be all, okay, let's try this again. So, hi, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Annie Wilson. I am not an astronomer, and I know just enough about astronomy to be dangerous, and for those of you that don't know, my background is in computer science. So, Hello, 3D Code Warrior. You are new. So hi. So this is Daily Space, and I typically kind of delay the start of Daily Space because of just the nature of Twitch, and it takes time for everybody to trickle in. But I think we have everybody for the most part, so we're going to get started in a second. Daily Space is just your news update for astronomy and space things. And because I'm not an astronomer, and it takes me sometimes a long time to digest some of the things that Pamela can read, or Dr. Pamela can read through and go, oh, I know what this is right away, I stick to things like rockets, because rockets are still hard, but rockets are cool, and space toilets. We'll get into space toilets after we're done with everything else. All right, so on to the main event, shall we? So we have a lunch today. We will be streaming it. It will be Dr. Pamela that streams it because, unfortunately, I have another project to work on that is due in, less than a week. And I'm trying to do future self a favor by working on it now rather than, at the last minute. So yeah, it launches later today. The launch is at 2000 hours, 46 minutes UTC. That's 4:46 Eastern Coast. That's 1:46 West Coast, and it's bright and early on the 18th at 6:46 a.m. for Sydney. So yeah, as we talked about it before, this is the launch with the robots and the science. So this was an image posted on NASA's Twitter feed. Tinker, you're so terrible. And the mission is the CRS, so Commercial Resupply Cygnus with Ilana 26, which I'm not sure what Ilana 26 is. Yes, this is the one with the Jedi robots handies. They actually did this first, so there's a couple cool things about this launch. Two firsts with this launch, which I didn't know about until yesterday. First is that they did a late load, so they had the rocket vertical, and then they brought it down yesterday to horizontal, and then this morning they brought it back up to vertical. Okay, why? What was the late load? Rodents! Rodents were the late load, and because, rodents are a time-sensitive thing, and you really don't want them to be, up there without food and all this other stuff and uncomfortable and things of that nature. They were the live late load, because I think it docks really early in the morning. Really, really early in the morning. I don't remember. But yeah, this is also the first Cygnus launch with rodents. So we have rodents along with the space robots. So that's pretty cool. There's a lot of other science going up. I think this is also the launch with the organs on a chip stuff going on. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going up in this rocket. So yeah, that's happening today. My assumption is that in about 3 hours, by 3 hours from now, wherever you are in the world, Dr. Pamela should be streaming. So, I mean, I'm kind of bummed that I'm going to miss out, but there's not enough time for me to be in two places at once. Really, Tinker? Really? You want me to be in two places at once? Tinker wants me to be in two places at once. So, the next launch coming up... Oh, wait, this isn't a launch coming up. So, SpaceX, they had their launch last week with the Falcon Heavy, and all three boosters landed beautifully. It was gorgeous. Two of them landed on land, and the core landed on Of Course I Still Love You, the drone ship. Yes! I got it right, okay? The center core landed on Of Course I Still Love You, the drone ship. So, bad news about that. The drone ship, was in the... Really? Really? Can I finish, please? Come here. I know. I'm sad about this too. Come here. So unfortunately, you know, the drone ship, by nature, was out at sea, right? Right. And there was some really wacky weather recently, right? Right. And we're talking, the ship encountered rough seas, and we're talking 3-meter high waves. 3-meter high waves. The article, I know not everybody does metric, I'm getting there. The article that I read actually said 8 to 10 foot waves, but, you know, think of 3-meter high waves, think of 3-yard high waves, whatever thing puts it, that's the ballpark of wave size we're talking about. So this booster doesn't auto-secure itself. It needs the recovery team to secure it to the drone ship to make sure it doesn't topple off. To preserve the safety of the recovery crew, you know, who are also dealing with those high waves and the rough seas, they didn't secure it, so the core just kind of toppled off. Which is unfortunate. You know, it's really cool that it landed, because I don't think the last center core landed for Falcon Heavy. But it's unfortunate that we weren't able to bring it back to shore. So, but the plus side is nobody got hurt, and no future missions will be impacted by the loss. So, a bummer, but everybody's okay. Life is going to progress. We just don't get that center core back. And the drone ship, as far as I can tell, is okay. So, I can live with that. And then some kind of bittersweet news. This picture was released this morning or earlier today or wherever you are in the world by SpaceIL, who launched Beresheet. Well, they didn't launch Beresheet, but they ran the Beresheet mission, which was going to be the first private commercial lunar lander, and also the first lunar lander for Israel, which would have put them as, what, the 4th country to do a soft landing on the moon? So this image was released earlier today, like I said, and this was taken 15 kilometers from the surface. So as far as I know, this is the last image that Beresheet sent out. If they release any more images, I'll be surprised, considering that the malfunction occurred about 14 kilometers from the surface, and this was taken at 15. So they also tweeted about the findings of the preliminary investigation of the landing maneuver. And I quote, "It appears that during the landing process, a command was entered that led to a chain reaction, which caused the main engine to switch off and prevented it from being reactivated." End quote. They are going to continue to investigate and see what occurred. And in a few weeks, the final results of the investigation will be released. It's not clear if this was a human error, a software error, a hardware error. Something went wrong. Space is hard. The good news, though, is that Morris Khan who's the president of SpaceIL and definitely one of the major funders of the project, has said there's going to be a Beresheet 2.0, which is super awesome. Super awesome. So, yeah, we have that to look forward to at least. I'm looking forward to Beresheet 2.0, and I hope they nail the landing, because, you know, they got almost all the way there. They have it mostly figured out. And I know they've learned a lot from this mission. So another kind of updatey thing. This, I'm going to be showing a video clip in a second, but I want to give you some insight into what you're looking at. I know! You don't like it when things go wrong So Intelsat 29 Echo is a communication satellite that covers North America and Latin America. Right now it's currently tumbling through space, leaking propellant and drifting. It experienced an anomaly on April 7th, which, as far as I can tell, was first reported on April 10th. And the source of the damage is still under investigation. But the orbit is too high for it to have been hit by debris from the Indian satellite explosion. I'm going to repeat that. The orbit was too high for it to have been hit by any debris from the Indian satellite detonation. So with that, we're going to play this video, and I'm going to give some Cheerios to Tinker to get her to be quiet. There's no sound. So even though I'm turning it up, there's no sound. Which I think it's playing for you guys. I can't move the windows the way I want to move the windows. Yeah. So this is just really long of it being normal. The long streaks are stars. And there, boom, something happened. And then you can see a whole bunch of stuff coming out, which is debris and propellant. It's hard to see that it's tumbling, but you can definitely see that there's stuff surrounding the little dot when there wasn't stuff before. So, that's unfortunate. So I'm going to pull up the events slide, and while I have the events slide up and talk about that, go ahead and at me with questions about today's news stories, etc., etc. I am going to scroll back up and read them off and do my best to answer them. So, but yeah, sorry, Fluffy Dog is distracting. Yeah, all month long is Global Astronomy Month, so yeah, definitely. If the weather's nice outside at nighttime, go outside, look up. Maybe you'll see, well, I know in one hemisphere you can definitely see Orion, but, you know, maybe you'll see something that's bright enough to actually see where you're at in the world. Maybe you live in a place of the world where there's not a lot of light pollution, and for which I am eternally envious. Like I said, today we have the Ontario's launch, the Cynus launch. Dr. Pamela is going to cover that. She should be on the air in about 3 hours with that. And Friday, which I didn't talk about too much because there's going to be another me doing Daily Space between now and then. But the only other launch that I know of later this month is Friday, the 26th of April. And it is going to be super early in the morning, and I know this is right before our marathon stream, and I don't think we're going to cover this one. Sorry, not sorry. Just to give you guys a heads up, it will be happening, but because it's going to happen close to 6 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, which for Dr. Pamela is 5 in the morning, which means we need to be streaming before that. That's really, really early. But if you live in a part of the world where that's not a terrible time of day, I encourage you to tune in and check it out. So, flip over to chat, get some dogs on screen, and I'm going to go through your questions. All right, so this is going to be kind of out of order. And yes, I don't have the marathon stream on the event card, and I should. I probably should have that. But yes, there's going to be another tiny marathon stream. This marathon stream's only 10 hours. And that is, I want to say the 27th or the 28th of this month. And right now, right now the plan is for both of us to, do the thing. So I know some of you will forget this, but surprise, I'm going to St. Louis. Yeah, I'm going to be over at Dr. Pamela's helping out with the stream. I have no idea what that means I'll be doing on stream, but yeah, that's the marathon that's going on. It's to celebrate 10 years of 365 days of astronomy, which, holy crap, can you guys believe that's been going on for 10 years now? Oh, thank you for the Cheerios, Bombadil. Hey, Puck. Puck. You're not even on camera, Puck. Let me fix that. You're not even on camera. There, now you got a Puck snout. Hey, Puck, can you speak? Come on, speak. Speak louder. Oh. All right, and make it rain. I can actually move the dog cam now, so get you guys a little bit better of a view. Yeah. So thank you for the bits. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll up. What is the danger from the shrapnel from the satellite? I don't think there's a lot of danger, or I think they're still evaluating that. I'm not entirely too sure. It's kind of been a tight lid kept on all of this stuff, and I have not contacted the contact person to talk about it because I'm sure there's a lot of other, bigger news places out there that will write whole articles about this that are going to contact and get the info from that. Astro B says satellite crash is a double bummer. Proves there is dangerous stuff out there, and it added more stuff itself. Yes. I can't remember if it is. I can't remember if it's launch or. I can't remember if anything was said about problems that it's going to cause. So the F9 launch, I don't remember if that's going to be East Coast or West Coast. It's not this Friday, it's the 26th, so that's next Friday. And Astro B London says, I heard Beresheet was 100 million British pound project. I don't understand British pounds, unfortunately. I know it was over, I think it was over or around 100 million US dollars. So I don't, Hanny's asked, any other X Prize contestants going to the moon soon? India, I think, is the next one that's going to be going to the moon. I need to, essentially need to double check on all of that. Astro B asked, did it sink, meaning the central core? I think so. It wasn't recovered it wasn't recovered, so I'm assuming that it sunk and was claimed by the ocean. So I have no idea if they plan on trying to recover it. Once things sink, they can be difficult to find again and recover. And it's not like there's like a tracking beacon on the thing. So, Paranor says that yes, they were planning on reusing the core, but, SpaceX says that it's not going to affect future missions, meaning that if they were going to reuse it, it's not for anything anytime soon. Yes, Space Rat, adapt to 0G. This is not the first time they've sent rodents to the space station, and I'm not sure what science is going to be done on the rodents. I was just mostly excited that that's why they were doing the late live launch. Hanny has asked, are the chip organs just to see how organs deal with radiation? I think it's more than just radiation. They might be testing out 0G. More likely testing out 0G and how 0G affects the individual organs, because they are still the US space program's been collecting data on essentially how the human body reacts to being in space from essentially the jump. And I think I'm caught up. I think I'm all caught up. So I'm going to scroll back down and see what else you what are chip organs? Chip organs are like micro tissue. I don't want to say micro tissues. They're kind of like, they take specialized tissue from an organ and they're supposed to represent how an organ as a whole works, because each organ in your body is made up of specialized tissues. So these are, you can think of them as teeny tiny little organs that are encased in plastic with a very rudimentary circulatory system, which allows researchers to test medications and other products and physiological things like zero-G and radiation and things of that nature. So it's trying to, how would I put this? It's like, we know that some medications are processed by different parts of the body, right? But we don't always understand how they work on other parts of the body. Like, for example, there's this pill that I know for sure is in the US that's for toenail fungus, right? And it totally gets rid of toenail fungus, but it's really hard on your liver. Like, you need to have your liver enzymes checked. You can't be on any other medication that is metabolized by your liver, and you can't drink alcohol. So yeah, all that to get rid of some toenail fungus. So, but maybe it does something to the kidneys. Maybe something happens in the, stomach or large intestine. So that, yeah, there's that. Let's see, it says more down here. Will they be studied on the ISS or when they come back down? I believe both. And I don't know off the top of my head which organs are going to be represented. I imagine they're going to go for the really common ones that metabolize medications or are super important. I can see them having kidneys and livers on chips, possibly because we're talking microgravity, possibly heart. Maybe stuff from the digestive tract. I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure. So, why do you sit just off camera? Are all of them available in that format? Asked String Theory. I'm not really sure. I know they're a thing, and I know they're used, but I don't know if they have like every organ on a chip. Hanny says it may be interesting to see what genes are activated by space travel. The Kelly twins study, I know, has been showing the difference between a year in space and not a year in space. So there's that. Disillusion says, I hope there's cheese in space for the mice. If they have the cheese in a tube, and all I can really relate to that is the MRE cheese, they have the cheese in the tube, part of me is like, I hope there's snuck some, cheese by the astronauts. But in reality, they're lab animals and their diet's very strictly controlled because it's something that can be controlled. That way they can say for sure that, diet wasn't a factor in whatever they're studying. So, yeah, Bill Nash asked, they just released some findings from the Twins project, didn't they? And Paranor says, yep, and there's the link, and yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh yes, and as Larry points out, crumbs are bad in microgravity. They are. They totally are. Now, while I'm thinking about microgravity and crumbs, so if you're in the US, lots of libraries all over the place are, I know this is a hard left turn, but just bear with me here. So if you're in the US, libraries all over the country are depositories of government documents. These can be everything from studies about like what kind of bridge to put in a certain place, or things like transcripts of Congress testimony. And Disillusion brought something up real quick that I'm going to swerve back to. My dogs are brats, and they're just off camera. Disillusion says, I don't know if this is true, but I read that when Mir was being decommissioned, they found a basketball-sized sphere of water in a wall panel. Yeah, Mir had some issues, and I don't remember all of them, but I know Mir had some issues. And because I'm pretty much super focused on space toilets, I don't know much about like walls and things, so on and so forth. And Bomb Dill points out, I had rats as pets. They definitely know the difference between real cheese and American cheese product slices. I bet. So yes, water is cohesive. In microgravity, when it squishes together, it's like two bubbles coming together, and they just get bigger. Or if you have like oil droplets on top of like your ramen or something, and you just take your chopstick and you trace them together and put them together, that's also what water does in microgravity. So anyways, we were talking about the broken space toilet. Don't give... For those of you that don't know me, I have a thing for space toilets. There are 5 in orbit right now. Anyway, so I was talking about how libraries all over the US are depositories of US government documents, and this includes transcriptions of congressional hearings. And this is from 1993. I'll put it up to the camera. And my camera doesn't autofocus, so y'all can't read it that well, and I apologize. But this document is titled Contract Management Issues, Cost Overruns on NASA's Shuttle Toilet. Yeah, and like I said, this was from 1993, and also at the very bottom, which I'll show you, and I know you won't be able to see, is that it was actually at the library at Youngstown State University, and we were able to request it, and I have been the only one to check it out ever. So I'm highly amused by this. I'm not done reading it. It's 94 pages. I skimmed through a bit of it. Right now I'm at 36 because admittedly, once the NASA witnesses take the stand, so to speak, it gets kind of dry. But I earmarked a few, which you can't, there we go. I was like, you can't see them because they're blue screened. But I earmarked a few places that I wanted to share with you all. And where is it? So a couple of good ones. This is the first one. Hey, I know, I'm getting there. This is when I got this, I opened it up, and this is pretty much the first thing I saw was, and I quote, "Well, here we are, Mr. Chairman, looking down the drain of NASA's snazzy new space toilet. And if you look closely down there, you see the hefty sum of $23.4 million. That's what it costs to build a toilet in space these days. But if you're NASA, you go about it a different way, Mr. Chairman." And I mean, there were some serious problems with this toilet. with the budgeting for this toilet. And then here's another one. First, let me say we cannot be asking the American people in this country to be tightening their belts right now and having NASA dropping its pants on a $23 million toilet seat. It gets better. It gets better. Mr. Chairman, although one might be tempted to snicker at the idea of a congressional hearing on a space toilet, what we're doing here today is very important. The cost overruns associated with this project are symptomatic not only of poor contracting performance at NASA, but with the very way our government does business. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I forgot that was, it was only the, oh, wait. Here it is. Here's the other one. Our government has not learned any lessons from Pentagon's $900 toilet seat scandal. If several years later we expect them to take a $23 million space toilet sitting down. I'm reading from different, these are all quotes from different people. I don't always know which one is which. And this quote is from, because I'm looking, Mr. Rohrabacher. But let us note that we have faced in the past, and all I can say is that at least the toilet works. I mean, that's the bottom line. At least it works. Somebody else asks, "Are you sure?" He replies with, "Well, I'm not really sure." And they actually mark that there was laughter. This is a high-priced potty. It's another quote. And here's another one. It is absolutely crystal clear that when we have to go back and talk about defending a gold-plated toilet that's cost 5 times more than it was supposed to on a per-unit basis, it's very, very difficult not to come off with egg on our face. So, it's pretty lighthearted before. And there's more, and I'm sure I'm going to find more. I thought about reading the entire thing on stream, like after hours story time, but it does get kind of dry and technical, and I'm not sure how many people would actually be interested in that. So, yeah. But later on, during the hearing, someone from NASA says, "Come on, can we call it a waste collection system?" Because that's what it is. It's a waste collection system. And they do liken it several times to it being a toilet, all of the plumbing, like the sewers and water and, the sewage treatment all in one. And it's like they said at the time, this analogy made sense, but not so much anymore. This in the space of half of a telephone booth. So there's that. But from what I gather, the toilet, they asked for bids on the toilet. One company submitted a low bid, and then that company went out and collected bids for the toilet and also potentially picked a low one. And the contract the government signed, I guess, was called something like Cost Plus. So it didn't matter how much it ended up costing because the government would pay, and it goes in later to how they eventually did cap the price of the toilet. And the reason reason why it was so expensive is that the original space station toilets, waste collection systems, if you will, were only good for 16 days in orbit, and Congress passed this thing that's like, okay, we now want to stay 28 days in orbit. When your old toilet doesn't handle that, you need a new toilet. So, I'm not entirely too sure of the differences between the two. I just know that, this is kind of a big deal because the sleeping quarters, on the space shuttle, the sleeping quarters, the toilet and the galley where they were eating were all really close together. So yeah, smell would be an issue, leaks would be an issue, etc., etc., etc. So String Terry's answering Larry Weird and Proud's question. He asked, do you know that the space station has to be heated or is cooling to a real problem? I'm not surprised. String Theory says something about it has large radiators. So, yeah. So, yeah, that was my space toilet bit of stuff for the day. Yeah. SpaceX toilet will cost a quarter as much and go 200 miles per hour, but will only work for 10 flushes. That's terrifying. I wonder about the SpaceX toilets. Annie, do they send the deposits out to burn up on re-entry? So on the space shuttle, I know liquid waste went into a used holding tank, or went into some kind of holding tank, and solid waste was not burned up on re-entry. So, yeah, I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember what they did with it. I know that historically, US has studied bodily waste products from astronauts, and yeah. Anyways, see if I can exit full screen on this other thing. Bombadil asks, and this is actually a question I can answer, is the space toilet built to maintain constant negative pressure or only negative pressure when in use? So I can't speak for all space toilets because I don't know how exactly all of them work. I have an idea on how different space toilets work. But I do know for the space station toilet, not the space station toilet, excuse me, the shuttle toilet, especially the new one, had to have constant negative pressure going to make sure nothing escaped. And I don't think the Soyuz toilets, as they were, work like that. They might, but I don't think the Soyuz toilets work like that because they don't actually have a seat. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of negative pressure going on near the toilets in the space station. So, Hanny's asked, could they use charcoal to deodorize? They do use something to deodorize. The good thing about being in space is that your sense of smell is kind of gone. So I think it's more of, like, you need really strong odors. And I think sometimes it's just more of like an embarrassing noise thing and things of that nature. So yeah, I don't fully... These are things I know I've read about, and I just don't remember how everything works, because I have a lot going on in the head right now. Plus, you know, it's just kind of amusing to read just all the toilet humor in this. It's I wish there was a digital copy of this, and there might be, but not through official streams. But if you have the ability to read this, definitely read it. It's not very long. It's not too bad. I don't feel like it's too technical. Things of that nature. What scrubs the CO2? They might use lithium for that. And string theory, thank you. I will actually open that now. And I may have actually... Oh, no. I have not read this before. Oh yeah. Thank you, string theory, because this is going to go on my my reading list of sorts. So, hi, Puck. Hi, Tinker. Lithium is so hard to find in space, I learned from Astroneer. Right? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Now I want to play Astroneer, but I have work to do. So, I think... I mean, I'd love to talk about, like, space station and toilets and things of that nature some more, but I unfortunately do have to go and do work, which is not as fun as talking to you guys about space toilets, but this is also a very temporary thing. Veronica Cure asked, does it go into a lot of detail? It goes into more detail about the process of how NASA recovers, not how NASA pays for things. Hey, get over there. It goes into a lot of detail about how NASA does their procurement process, and it goes into a lot of detail about that and things of that nature. I don't think it really covers how, like, it mentions, actually, it does get into some technical, understandable detail of how the toilet works, but that's not the focus of the hearing, and the focus of the hearing actually isn't just about the toilet. The toilet's just kind of stuck in the center of this. But yes, it, oh no, she might be here in like 2.5 hours online. So, I'm thinking maybe it is 2 hours. So I'm not sure. You're welcome, Veronica. Thank you for the bits. Hey, Puck, can you speak? Speak. Come on. Tell Veronica thank you. All right. Puck says thank you. I say thank you. And make it rain. Yeah, Pamela, Dr. Pamela will be on in 2 to 2.5 hours. And yeah, stuff and things. Trillian H2O asks, gotta go work on that new design for a space toilet. No, I actually am working on a video for a project called iData, and it's going to be, when it's done and posted on the STEM Videos for All site, I will probably post in Discord and things about it, but because it's not associated with CosmoQuest, I'm not working on it on stream, I'm not talking about it a whole bunch, but iData stands for Innovators Developing Accessible Astronomy, and they've essentially created this piece of software that is screen reader friendly, which is a big deal, and turns some space data into sound. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's really cool. It's been a challenging video because I have to keep it under 3 minutes, and there's just so much to this program, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, no, that's due in less than a week, and I would like to get that finished and things of that nature. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on. Have some more Cheerios, Puck. So yeah, thank you to everybody who has tuned in. I am going to get ready to roll the credits now, which is always awkward. Always awkward. If you have any suggestions of who to raid, speak up now. Otherwise, I'm going to go to the Knowledge Fellowship Discord, of which we are a member, and see who's streaming now. Oh, more bits, Trev says. Go for launch. All right. Hey, Puck, speak. All right, Puck says thank you. I say thank you. And make it rain. Part of me is like, is Oh Bother on? I don't think Oh Bother's on. I don't think Timber Anew is on anymore either. Nicandria's on, Jesse Skimmer's on, and that's it. I see twit. I don't know what twit means. As I dodge around my microphone. Twit is... Oh, no, wait, what's twit? Talk shows and podcasts. Alright. May I suggest... Oh, yeah, sure, we'll do Nicandria, because as Paranor says, she is doing a... Why won't it pull up? She's doing a multiple sclerosis charity stream, and she is indeed part of TKF. So, bye, Astro B. Thanks for tuning in. And, alright, we're going to set that up. And, yeah, I'm going to roll the credits and be super awkward and dodge around my microphone, which I know you guys can't see. And, yeah, thank you. I should actually probably do my other stuff. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This has been a production of CosmoQuest, hosted by Planetary Science Institute, working in collaboration with Youngstown State University. We're here because of you. If you can't afford to donate, sub, bits, whatever, that's okay. Follows are free. And, yeah, thank you all. And now we're going to do the thing before it forces the raid. And, yeah, I will see you guys soon. Until then, be good to each other. Bye.